Welcome back to A1 Storyteller. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a powerful and eye-opening tale. Get ready to be on the edge of your seat as we explore a story that highlights the resilience of the human spirit and the fight for justice. This is a story that will leave you stunned, inspired, and deeply moved. So, let's jump right in. In the heart of a bustling city, where the hustle and bustle of daily life never ceased, a dramatic confrontation was about to unfold. It was a typical evening, with the sun setting and casting a golden hue over the city streets. General U.S., a distinguished and accomplished Black U.S. Army general, was returning from a long day of service. She had dedicated her life to protecting her country and upholding the values of honor, courage, and commitment. As she walked through the city, her presence was one of quiet strength and dignity. However, her path was about to cross with someone who would challenge everything she stood for. Officer John Mitchell, a police officer known for his prejudiced views, was patrolling the area. His mind was clouded by deep-seated biases and a belief in his own superiority. Their encounter began innocently enough. General West was walking towards her car when Officer Mitchell approached her. He had been tipped off that a suspicious individual was in the area, and his mind immediately raced with assumptions. He didn't recognize the woman in front of him as the esteemed General West. Instead, his prejudice blinded him to the truth. "Mom, can I see your identification?" he demanded, his tone harsh and accusatory. General West, taken aback by the sudden confrontation, responded calmly, "Of course, officer. I'm General U.S. of the U.S. Army." Officer Mitchell's eyes widened with disbelief, but his prejudice quickly overrode any sense of respect. He couldn't fathom that a black woman could hold such a high-ranking position. His anger and frustration bubbled over, and in a moment of irrationality, he reached for his gun. "Stay right there," he shouted, pointing the weapon directly at General West. The tension in the air was palpable. General West stood her ground, her composure unwavering despite the life-threatening situation. She knew that any sudden movement could escalate the situation further, so she remained calm and composed. "Officer, put the gun down," she said firmly but without aggression. "I am a general in the U.S. Army and I have done nothing wrong." Officer Mitchell's hands were trembling, a mix of fear and anger coursing through him. He couldn't reconcile the image of a high-ranking general with the black woman standing in front of him. His mind raced, searching for a way to justify his actions. "You don't look like a general," he spat out, his words dripping with contempt. General West's eyes narrowed, but she didn't let his words affect her. "Looks can be deceiving, officer. I suggest you check your facts before you make assumptions." The situation was quickly drawing a crowd. People passing by stopped in their tracks, sensing the danger and injustice unfolding before them. Some called out to Officer Mitchell, urging him to stand down, while others dialed 911 to report the incident. As the tension continued to build, a voice from the crowd caught everyone's attention. It was a fellow officer who had just arrived on the scene. "Officer Mitchell, what are you doing?" he shouted, rushing towards them. "That's General U.S. She's a decorated officer and a hero." Officer Mitchell's face turned pale as he realized the gravity of his mistake. His mind raced, trying to find a way to backtrack and mitigate the damage he had caused, but it was too late. The damage had been done and the truth had been revealed. General West, though shaken by the confrontation, remained composed. She knew that this incident was a stark reminder of the deep-seated prejudice that still existed in society, but she also knew that she had the strength and resilience to stand up against it. "Officer Mitchell, you need to understand the gravity of your actions," she said, her voice steady and firm. "Your prejudice and misuse of power could have had deadly consequences. I demand that you be held accountable for your actions." In the days that followed, the incident made headlines across the nation. People were shocked and appalled by the blatant display of racism and abuse of power. Officer Mitchell was suspended from duty, pending an internal investigation. He faced charges of misconduct and was ultimately dismissed from the force. General West, on the other hand, became a symbol of resilience and courage. Her story inspired countless others to stand up against injustice and fight for equality. She continued to serve her country with honor and dedication, using her platform to advocate for change and promote diversity within the military. The incident also sparked a broader conversation about the need for police reform and the importance of addressing systemic racism. Community leaders, activists, and lawmakers came together to push for policies that would ensure greater accountability and fairness within law enforcement agencies. Months later, as the dust settled, General West reflected on the events that had transpired. She knew that the road to justice was long and arduous, but she also knew that every small victory mattered. The confrontation with Officer Mitchell had been a wake-up call for many, a reminder that the fight for equality was far from over. But in the face of adversity, General West found strength. She continued to lead with integrity and compassion, inspiring those around her to do the same. Her story became a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of resilience and the importance of standing up for what is right. And so, in a world where prejudice and abuse of power still existed, General Nadja Y. West stood as a shining example of courage, composure, and justice. Her story would be remembered as an unforgettable chapter in the ongoing fight for equality and accountability. And there you have it, folks. A powerful story that reminds us of the importance of standing up against injustice and the strength it takes to do so. General Nadja Y. West's resilience and courage are truly inspiring, and we hope her story leaves you feeling motivated to make a difference in your own way. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Stay tuned for more incredible stories on A1 Storyteller.